Pulse chain.
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 So we're all aware now of what has been happening in the recent months with the SEC and Richard Hart and Hex, etc. Now, if we go back a couple of weeks to the 27th of November, Decrypt put out this article saying, "Where in the world is Hex founder Richard Hart?" The SEC has been trying and apparently failing to hunt down controversial Hex founder Richard Hart for months. The US government is searching far and wide for Richard Hart, the controversial crypto founder. It charged months ago with orchestrating an illegal 1 billion securities scheme, and it can't seem to find him. In July, the SEC accused Hart, whose real name is Richard Hula, with violating securities laws by selling and promoting a cryptocurrency, Hex, that promised holders would become the highest appreciating asset that has ever existed in the history of man. Now, lawyers for the SEC have informed a federal judge that they haven't been able to serve Hart in the case, the first step to getting proceedings off the ground. In a filing submitted to a New York federal court by an SEC lawyer last week, the SEC conceded that although it believes Hart resides in Helsinki, Finland, any attempts to serve him via the Finnish Ministry of Justice have failed over the last 3 months. So that's one of their older articles. To date, the SEC has not received confirmation of service of process of defendants in Finland, the SEC lawyer wrote. While the SEC did not clarify whether this issue stemmed from the Finnish government's lack of cooperation with the American government or broader failure just to locate Hart. The latter is more likely given the close collaborative relationship between the two NATO countries. Hart has been long secretive about his whereabouts. When the crypto founder was prominently featured in a documentary about Hex earlier this year, he made the point of keeping his home location unknown, both to viewers and the film's directors, opting to shoot interviews in a hand-selected underground bunker, the location which is also kept a secret. So this is a tweet going back to that same date. There's evil out there that hates you. Freedom of speech, freedom of association, contract movement, thought. Censors are active, persistent threat and have been for thousands of years, which is why the Constitution has a First Amendment. So that was Richard Hart commenting on that. But that doesn't mean Hart has gone off the radar. In the 6 days since SEC admitted that it couldn't find the crypto influence, he has tweeted 31 times. In these tweets, Hart has not once mentioned his location or referenced the fact that the American government is searching for him. Now, since then, in the last few days, he has actually started talking about this. I'll do a separate video on the stuff he said there. We'll carry on with this. He has, however, reportedly gloated about the legal woes of fallen Binance founder ZZ, who pled guilty last week to violating American anti-money laundering laws and stepped down from his CEO role. The list of people jailed or bankrupt that didn't like Richard Hart or the things he founded is really long, he wrote last week, referring to him in the third person. So this is him talking about all that stuff there. Now that's just the last bit there. While Hart has not yet been charged with any criminal offence, he now finds himself in a similar position to the four. Well, not really, because no one has really been robbed, so it's going to be a very different case if this comes along. So both Terra founder Do Kwon and 3 Hours capitalist Zhu tweeted for months on end about their respective crypto projects' collapse. See, that's the difference. There is no collapse with Hex. No money has been stolen. Even if they fled as criminal charges, attempted to lie low in foreign countries, both were eventually captured. Kwon is currently serving a 4-month sentence in Montenegro, after which he'll be extradited to either the US or South Korea for further criminal proceedings. Zhu is partway through his prison sentence in Singapore. So that was a couple of weeks ago. Now, what happened just a couple of days ago was this document, which I think is an older document. So this is Golkey, who posted breaking news: Richard Hart has been served. Securities and Exchange Commission, jury trial demanded, notice of service. So this is December the 11th, 2023. The plaintiff's SEC files notice of service. Richard Schuler and his alter egos Hex Pulse Chain was served on the 31st of October. So that's the follow-up in accordance with the Finnish law. So is there another one to this? So this was more of the details. The intended has a permanent address. So what they've done here is, this is his address now they've put up. So you can have a look at that. I've seen it on the on Google Maps. Maybe we'll have a look at that. Attempts to contact him have initially by letter and text message. They had no results in trying to contact him. Mr. Schuler directly at his2nd September. At least 3 attempts were made, and the process of server leaving behind a contact request on at least 2 of these occasions. Other attempts have been made. So we'll just look at another post here. This is from Yosomi. He says more information. He's posting the same things. They say they've served him, but explain that they haven't. Nuclear Hub also shares thoughts in this pic attached. Pulse Chain ecosystem has 140 plus creators. So if we go back to that, I think the last bit says here, the multiple attempts at contacting Mr. Schuler using different methods over a period nearly lasted 7 weeks, giving ample time for response. As this is a civil matter and no services to be performed in accordance with domestic Finnish legislation, it is the decision of the process server that these documents shall be served through the method of substitute service in accordance with Finnish laws. Notice of this service will be sent to Mr. Schuler's address, and the documents to be served deposited at the Helsinki police station, where they will remain available for pickup for 21 days from the date of service, which is long gone. So again, it looks like what Sami was saying is correct. They're saying they've served him, but they haven't really served him. So this is the street where he lives. Tango, you can't make this up. The Louis Vuitton store is a 7-minute walk from Richard's alleged residence. So maybe let's take a look at that residence. So if we look at Google Maps here, this is Helsinki, Finland. Apparently this is where Richard Hart lives. One of these buildings here. Not so sure. Is this where he lives? I'm not convinced. I think he potentially has more properties or places to stay, and he's probably not even at this address. So this is Richard Hart still being chased by the SEC.